machine worked for NASA. She sewed uniforms and jumpsuits,
No kidding.
not spacesuits, but she sewed patches on uniforms for space shuttle astronauts.
No kidding.
All kinds of stuff. So they don't have a machine here that looks like my mom's, the one that I have. But the closest one would be one of these up here, because she's got this push button reverse. Based on old ads.
Dad?
WK built this table to hold 4 sewing machines. When he first got into sewing, he initially started getting into sewing to do upholstery for cars. So he had different machines for different. This is an electric machine. Instead of having a foot pedal, it's operated
thing on the knee.
by moving your knee against the bar. These are all Chinese-made machines, and they are made with the same branding as American machines. So we have a white here with a brother here. But what they would do is they would buy tooling from these companies that had been used, and then they would use it to make machines. Tooling would have been used over time, and so things would be worn down, so the tolerances weren't quite as right. So generally speaking, these machines weren't as good quality. But this one here, McKee's, was a sewing machine seller here in town. They sold machines. They were the biggest provider of sewing machines and
Here in
fabric
Tulsa.
and here in Tulsa for many, many years. And they would contract out and have machines made for them that were branded with their name. A very collectible item because it is a
Teeny tiny boy.
it is a toy. So there's people who collect toys. It's a toy sewing machine. There's people who collect sewing machines. It's a Japanese toy, and it takes D batteries, so it can still be operated, which is not all that common for old toys, right? So it's a very, very collectible item. So this is actually an embroidery machine. So you'll notice it doesn't have a standard foot.
Yeah.
It's meant for freehand
You can
embroidery.
move it around, yeah.
So you just,
How do you do that?
well, you would run the machine. It's not running right now. But you would run the machine and just move the fabric around freely, and it would sew wherever you wanted to go. So these are the kinds of machines that we were using when I came and helped with the birthday party class, right? So I think, I don't remember which one I used, but these are all hand crank. It's the same operation as a treadle. It's just crank on the end instead of. These are extremely popular with quilters because they're small and they stitch very evenly. They're very reliable. So quilters will go a long way to get a featherweight.
And who gets them?
Quilters.
Quilters. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I understand.
But I can't remember which
Why
case
does
it
this one
is.
have light?
Well, lots of them have lights. It just helps to have a light on your work. So I'm not sure which box he always shows, but General Electric was making sewing machines for a while, and they were all this size and this portable style. But they had a really innovative design for the box, so Singer bought them out for the box design. They didn't care about the machine; they wanted the box. The thing about these GE machines is they use Lionel train transformers to drive them. So it sounds exactly like a train.
Okay.
And this on them were ones that were similar to the ones in the Asian room.
Oh.
They would buy old tooling and set up shop themselves.
Yeah, not as precision.
That led to the museum.
Lovely.
And it's a 201C. So the 201 is a very common machine. Lots of people have them. But the C was the higher end version of that. Everything is top of the line. It actually has a transmission on the end that changes the speed. This would be collectible because it's got the extra gewgaws and stuff on it. It's this one because the base is Bakelite. So sergers, they will sew. You can see that they've got multiple paths for the thread to come through. So you've got multiple threads coming down, and it will make it will work across the edge, but it will also cut the edge at the same time. So it's used for finishing the hems of the fabric on the inside.
Okay. Look at the artwork. That's got to be from the early 60s. I mean, late 60s, early 70s. More artwork. Yeah, neat. That's modernistic looking.
Yeah.
Here's dangerous iron.
These are both chain stitch machines.
No, look at that.
And both of them are in extremely good condition because they were owned by rich families who had a machine, but nobody ever used it. It was on display in the parlor. The actual machine that people used to make things, the machine that was used to make all the curtains and all the tablecloths and everything else in the house, there was a man in the basement who was doing that, an actual working machine. You know, this is the kids' room, so we have a lot of toy machines.
Yeah,
right? Well, he also has this, so he cut this down. So this is most tables, they have the iron legs that go all the way up. There was a style of table that put the legs under the boxes.
Oh, really?
They saved on iron. Problem was, it's not nearly as sturdy, and over time it would shake itself apart. But he had a couple of those short legs so that it's shorter. There is a town here in Oklahoma that was, for many years, a place where people from the circus would go to retire. There's a circus graveyard there. They had entire parts of the town that were scaled down for little people. The woman who owned that machine, that wasn't a child's machine, that wasn't a child's table.
Yeah.
That was her table. And she used it to make clothes for the people in there.
Yeah.
She was telling him the story, and she was talking about how she used to make these clothes, and she had one of her patterns. He said, I will keep this with the machine so that people can see it. And the next time she came back, he said, turn around.
Oh.
And he painted it on the wall. And this is one of the last really good quality toy or child-sized sewing machine. It was made to be a working sewing machine in a child size. And this was very popular with tailors because it was portable. They could take it and they could do quick repairs. So I've actually pressed with this iron.
And my mom worked at the clothing stores back in the area where they used to do their hemming, and they had a setup like this with an iron.
Hold that.
Welcome to the room of
Yeah. I mean, it's actually lighter than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I was really expecting it to
Ready
be
to run this?
So.
Yes.
All right, come on. You're not the youngest. You ready? You're not going to go full blast. And you're going to hold your hand there. Right there like that. Where's my phone at? You gonna post this? Yeah, post it. Canvas and parachutes. Made canvas naval bags and parachutes. That was bad. That's a bit too bad.
Yeah, that was real fast. So that you can keep going.
Did you see the other one? Look at this one.
Oh my!
That
There's a hole.
has 3 of these on it.
There's a hole.
Yeah,
That's a lot of damage.
that is a lot of damage.
Does the length of thread on one of those tools vary by the gauge of the
Yeah, like that's what we would normally sew leather with.
Yeah.
That stuff there, but the problem with doing this bit here, you know, when she ramped that up really high, that would have ruined the needle going through leather, and it would have immediately melted the thread because the needle would get red hot.
Oh, yeah.
But going through the canvas, that's why I put canvas on it now.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that, and I can use a cheaper thread
Oh.
and not use that high quality. Yeah, that's very expensive right there. That's,
Now
I
this
believe
is,
that's $45 a roll.
this is not a cotton.
No, and it's not on wax. It's single bond.
Okay. I was on a naval repair ship, and they had a mechanic shop.
Yeah.
And I remember I didn't work in there, but I remember these tools.
Yeah.
We borrowed one of those one time and blew a kite off the fantail of the boat with it.
In the 20s, in industrial settings, to sew bows onto ladies' shoes.
Oh yeah.
They were designed to, they have a specific cycle, a 4-hole button on top of the bow.
Yeah.
You put it in there, you press the treadle, and it goes boom, 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 and you're done. And you're supposed to back it off, and then you do it again. They made these machines, sent them out to the shoemakers, and they said, okay, well, that's fine, but we need to do it twice. Can you change them so that it does 14 instead of 7 and 7? Sure. So they retooled them. By the time they retooled them, the fashion was over.
Yeah.
It was the first real fad in America. It's like buttons and bows was happening for this length of time, and then it was gone. So they get them all, they retool them, they send them back, and they're like, we don't want them. So they ended up scrapping most of them.
Yeah.
So they are extremely rare. This is one of the ones that was remanufactured. So this is the one that
Retooled.
yeah.